Hey everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this episode, I'm going to be talking more about the things that I did in order for me to get the weight off. Now, for me, I've struggled with weight loss off and on my whole life. I've gained it fairly quickly, and I've lost it fairly quickly. Well, now that I'm getting older, and I'm pushing towards 41 this year, the weight seems to be coming off a little slower than it used to be whenever I was younger. So, some of the things that I did, one was I had to come up with a game plan. I had to figure out what works for me and what doesn't work for me. Now, I'm the type of person that for many years, I was doing the whole yo-yo dieting. I would go on to a diet. I would come off of a diet. I would try a different diet. And I've kind of gotten to a place now that I'm older where I just can't stand the word diet. I feel like every time I've ever used that word, I've already kind of set myself up for failure. I think the better way of going about this is coming up with a meal plan, figuring out an alternative to your eating habits that produce better results for yourself. Like for instance, instead of potatoes, I may have a sweet potato, or instead of having pizza, I may find an alternative to maybe just having a cheeseburger without bread or something like that. Now, I had went into keto for a little while at first when I first started this. And I really did like keto because I was allowed to have kind of, like certain vegetables and certain things that I was allowed to have, but I wasn't allowed to go over, I want to say it was like 20 carbs a day or something like that. You had to allow your body to go into what's called ketosis. And whenever your body goes into ketosis, then you actually start burning more fat and you actually have more energy. And the science kind of behind it is actually really smart because what it eventually does is a lot of times we use carbs and sugar as a fuel source for energy. Well, when your body goes into ketosis, and I believe it takes like 3 days or something like that for your body to go into complete ketosis. But anyhow, whenever you go into ketosis, your body starts using the fat that's stored in the fat cells and things like that to allow you to have fuel. So you're actually using your own body as a fuel source, which is kind of cool. And it worked for a while. I did the keto for, I want to say around 30 days or so. And then I went from the keto to the carnivore. Now, when I went from keto to carnivore, it is a little bit more strict. So whenever you decide to go into a challenge, and I'm going to post my challenge fitness planners, it's going to be in the description if you look for it. But anyhow, whenever you go into any kind of challenge or meal plan or anything that requires discipline, I feel like it's easier or best to do the easier version before you go into the harder version. Now, for me, I feel like the carnivore was more of a harder, more disciplined because it's meat only, animal products only. And whereas with the keto, it was a little bit more lenient as far as, being able to have a little bit more, things. Now, I have put into the planners some meal ideas, the things that you can have and the things that you can't have. I've put in a tracker to kind of help you along the way with your journey as well too. And for me, whenever I came up with my plan, that's kind of what helped me out, was being able to kind of log what I was going through. And not only that, but being able to see the progress. I feel like because I was able to write down on my tracker where I was at, what I was doing, and being able to kind of have something to look forward to, it almost seemed like I was doing a job for myself. And I actually really enjoyed that much better because I felt like at the time I was doing it for everybody else, but I wasn't doing it for me. And so when I went through my journey, the very first thing I did was keto. And then once I did keto, I went into the carnivore, and I did that for 30 days. Now, for me, I have a tractor tire in the backyard, which helped out a lot. And I got a kettlebell, which helped out a lot as far as the cardio and dropping weight kind of significantly fast. Now, I do love going to the gym, and I do love working out whenever I get the opportunity. And if you have gym access, then by all means, it does help. Now, for me, I don't really typically go over 45 minutes in a gym. I go in there, I normally do 3 to 4 sets of 10. And that's pretty much the extent of my workouts. Now, whenever I do like the tractor tire in the yard or something like that. I kind of push that more towards doing that on the weekends for myself because I'm normally off. And then that way, if I exert myself, I don't have to be exerted and go to work. So it kind of gives me the opportunity to have that rest that I need as well too. I will say one of the things that I found by doing these 2 meal plans or challenges, however you want to call it, is I wound up losing a lot of inflammation, which was great. My body wasn't hurting as much. I had more energy. I didn't have so much mental fog. I felt great. On the carnivore, I guess because it's more of a meat base, for me, I felt like it took a lot longer for me to get hungry. I felt fuller much longer. Now, I will say another thing too, whenever you're doing these, what helped out a lot for me too was I was doing intermittent fasting where I wasn't eating for 16 hours and then I would eat for 8 hours. Now, by doing that, I feel like not eating past 7 o'clock was very beneficial for me because you're doing most of that fast in your sleep. And because of that, it seemed to be a little bit easier and more conducive for me to be able to continue doing that throughout my journey. And it helped out a lot. Now, one of the things too is making sure that whenever you are exercising and you're exerting yourself, don't forget to, make sure you have electrolytes. I like kind of like Propels and sometimes the Gatorade, the Zero Gatorades. Every once in a while, I like to have those. And staying hydrated is a must. You don't want to overexert yourself and be dehydrated as well too. So making sure that you keep up with your hydration is extremely important, especially whenever you're taking on a challenge or you're doing something that kind of puts yourself in a position of exerting yourself a little bit. Now, I will say that depending on where you're at in your journey, sometimes it may be more beneficial to definitely seek a physician and talk to a doctor before you take on a challenge and see if it's right for you and beneficial for you. I can't speak for everybody else, but what I can say is whenever I did these challenges, they created a lot of amazing results. I've lost a significant amount of weight over a 90-day period. And because of that, I felt more comfortable of being able to come up with a strategy and a fitness planner. Now, with these fitness planners, of course, you can buy them separately or you can buy the bundle. And like I said, I'll put that in the description. But as you're going into the next journey, the next phase of your life, and you're wanting a better body for yourself and you're wanting to create a better opportunity for yourself, I feel like coming up with a game plan and realizing that you have to take account for the things that work and the things that didn't work. A lot of the things that I was doing in the past didn't work. So when I came up with a game plan, I had to figure out what would be easiest for me. So I came up with my fitness planners, which gave me the opportunity to be able to do what I felt was more comfortable for myself. Now, when you do that as well too, also keep in mind that a lot of the issues that we have as far as like weight gain and overeating and being able to procrastination and things of that nature, a lot of that has to do with psychologically. And you have to be able to get into the mind frame of being positive, telling yourself, I'm going to do this. I'm going to accomplish this. Now, I will say for me, a lot of times when you go into a weight loss journey, you actually start gaining a little bit of weight at first. So a lot of people get very discouraged within the first 2 weeks because they'll go to the gym a bunch and they'll gain some weight and then they just fall off. Well, I'm here to tell you that if you stick through it, you'll definitely break through that plateau. A lot of times your body will start retaining some water weight whenever you're exercising. You got to keep in mind that if you're not somebody that exercises, then you are doing something new to your body and your body's going to react to it. Eventually your body will start breaking down the fat and things like that, and you'll start losing weight and you'll start feeling better. But I'm here to tell you, you got to get your mind right first. When you get your mind right and then you set the boundary for yourself of what you will allow and what you will not allow for yourself and start creating that discipline, you can create any kind of habit that you want. Normally they say after 21 days, it could become a habit. So if you take on these challenges and you decide to yourself, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to commit to, and just remember to yourself, it's only 90 days or it's only 30 days, whichever one that you decide to wind up doing. For me, I found that the most amount of weight loss took me around the 90-day mark. I did lose a good bit of weight in the first 30 days, but it was around the 90-day mark where I actually saw a significant difference in my body size and the way I felt. So when you're deciding to take on something, it's not forever, but I will say this. Whenever you go into this and you start committing to yourself, you'll get to a place where you'll start loving what you're doing for yourself. And then it becomes easier. And the longevity of it will actually become easier for you. With that being said, I really hope that this video has found you. I really hope that this video helps. Good luck on your journey. And if so, leave a comment in the comment section and let me know that you're starting. With that being said, I hope you guys have a beautiful and blessed day. Bye.